Aloha, everybody. Hope everybody's having an enjoyable weekend so far. Stock market closed it up Friday perfectly. Following the session that we got on Wednesday and Thursday, it is quite possible that we could see a further pullback if the Iraq-Ukraine tensions escalated. However, on Friday, we got a nice bit of support, rallied nicely off the intraday lows to close at 0.30. We were down for the week on the NASDAQ, but that's a tight week, so overall, things are looking good. New York Stock Exchange, same thing, 0.29%. Almost took care of all the losses the day before, down 0.44% for the week. Overall, very solid. Dow Jones Industrial Average, same thing. Strong session, and volume was actually higher than the day before. Russell 2000, another strong session, reversing most of the losses from the day before. Everything looks good still on these indexes. Short term, I'm neutral. Shortest short terms on a day-by-day basis, neutral. Intermediate term, bullish. We're uptrending. Long intermediate term, kind of neutral-ish. I mean, where have we gone so far for the entire year for the Russell 2000? Down 0.08%. That's pretty good because I'm up like right around 4% for the year. So I'll take it. I'm not Timothy Sykes and can't day trade. I moved to Maui in the first place because I realized I can make a ton of money and make a wonderful living and become wealthy with end of day signals, and everything was going fine until 2008. So I'm not going to fully abandon this methodology probably right before it's ready to turn in favor of day trading full time. So we can't all be amazing, but the thing is the trend following wizards are all down. Russell 2000's down for the year, and I'm up. I'll take it. I'm happy despite this year being kind of overall. So I want to look at what we had for signals. We had actually quite a lot of signals out there. Before I get to the longs, I want to get to the ones I'm not taking. T-Log, for instance, coming up through the 50-day moving average. Biotechnology stock, keep an eye on that. These things can move a lot. ALDR, I don't know if you guys remember, but right here was the signal date that I decided to pass on. Gave it to all you guys. Not sure why I passed on it. I do now know why I passed on it. I thought it was too thin of a stock. That's exactly why I passed on it. This signal was passed on because I thought this damn thing was too thin. And how much is it up now in less than a month? 95%. So remember, if I don't take a signal, it probably means take it. Also, SRCL, as you can see on this weekly chart, is starting to round out with this long right side of a base. This is kind of what I'm looking for. I'm seeing a lot of these form. If I can get a handle on this and a breakout, I want to get long this. VRNT did a secondary. If this thing can move consolidate sideways and then break out higher, VRNT should be on watch. And then AMRE is a REIT, is breaking out on a pocket pivot point signal under a lot of accumulation. So we did get signals out there. TLK, BT, two telecom stocks that had some big volume surge, but I'm not that interested in it, especially after our LYG play, which was a speculative play based on macro conditions in Europe with that technical pattern, back-to-back pocket pivot point signals on huge volume. It definitely made sense to go long, but it's close. I don't know what the hell. After all that volume, it's now deciding to just go ahead and pull back on no volume, but we're still above my final cut loss level, so this is 75% sell. While we're on sells, we'll go ahead and then look at the other two. ENI closing below the 50-day moving average. It's now traded back into the intraday price range of the breakout day, giving us a loss. So we've already cut 25% of this. Now it's time to cut 50% more because there's better stocks out there, and if something's not moving, we got to move. And ARWR, it's a failure. We already got out of half of it based on the signal yesterday in the morning. But now we got to get out of the rest of it. This is a failure. It's very disappointing, but like I said, not totally shocked. I did think that this thing had a lot more to go, but it was up almost 10% in one day. That was my first problem. Second problem, like I brought it up even whenever I went long, ARWR is coming out of a very deep base, being up that much. And then another problem occurred is that BOP isn't max green and volume surge isn't huge, so with it being up 10%, you know, it isn't really one you want to buy a ton of. That's why it was a small signal, 2.5%. And then we got a shitty gap up, so that even screwed us more. And then 50% sell with it closing like it did on heavy volume back into our intraday range of the signal date, and now a full sell, so ARWR's got to go out. And that makes room for stocks like, if you want, also I just now thought of another pocket pivot point signal, didn't write down, totally forgot, Yelp. Yelp is gapping up on heavy volume after open was bought out, and now it's closing strong. To me, it's too early. We're too deep in the right side of a base. I need to see this thing climb up higher on that hard right edge, then handle out, then I'll be interested. So instead, what I'm going to be taking tonight, I have one real new long position, SPWR. Yes, the signal was yesterday, but the intraday close, the intraday action that we couldn't finish strong off those highs had me say no. So then my idea was if it got above 35.61, you can set a buy stop and get long at 35.62. I obviously didn't heed my own advice that I gave everybody else. And SPWR is now breaking out, but it's only at 35.68, so whew, getting lucky. It's within my 10 cents of a buy stop where it's considered safe. So from 35.62 to 35.72, you're safe. So SPWR is going to be a new long position. It's going to be a 5%er. This weekly chart is extremely bullish. If it could do a measured move, which I doubt it, let me just go up to the breakout point to this recent high. We could be looking at a 500% gain. I doubt that, like I said, but even half, 250, and I doubt that, even a quarter, 125. Okay, I'll take it. So SPWR is breaking out following pocket pivot point buy signal. All the internals look good, and that is a nice long-term chart pattern. And short-term, you can see that there's accumulation with the volume and the pocket pivot point signals. But very, very, very nice long-term chart. I got to get long. Then I have two speculative longs. SNXS is coming off the lows here. You can see following the gap up back in February on huge volume, consolidated on low volume, more movement higher on higher volume. Then it pulled back gradually on below average volume. Then down here near the lows, it gets tight, 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 tight with tails galore. Now we get a gap up yesterday on heavy volume, strong surge and bop. And then we get immediate follow through, pushing higher, closing above the 597 level, which is what you first want to see. I don't necessarily need to see it go above 630. That'd be a lot. We got a volume surge again and bops higher than day before. All is good. Then our final long is more of a speculative long, PRTS, bouncing off support near the 50-day moving average on a surge in volume. Big surge in volume. Two huge blocks, I believe, if I remember correctly, traded intraday. Big surge in bop. Beautiful long-term chart here. Beautiful up close chart here. You can see all the accumulation. And then overall, the intermediate term chart just looks strong. So you got a good long term, good short term, good intermediate term. Everything looks good. My biggest issue, MACD is trending down. So that's not good, not full confirmation. But I don't care when you got price this action this good. Cut losses at 340 if we're wrong, so we're not risking much. Speculative stock, limit orders preferred. I don't know. I think I'm splitting it up between half market, half limit. Thank you. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.